Hey everyone, it is December 18th, Wednesday. My name is Dan Charles with Light Forex. I'm going to break down the major Forex pairs. So let's get going. Let's start with the Australian US dollar. And there's some major resistance around 69, 0.6913, 0.6912. You can just see, if we blow up the daily chart here, you can see here, price hit around that price. The open, yeah, around 69.25, so roughly around that kind of price. Drops, pulls up, pulls back, tries to break out again, long rangy candle, hits that same resistance, roughly around that price. So 69.13 I got, but yeah, it's around 69.20, 25. Pulls back, and I drew in this key support price, 0.6840 on the Australian USD, and you can see it bounced off of that twice now. Now the low today was 68.39, so you know that 68.40, there's some support. So let's see if this can break out on that support tomorrow. I'm going to take a look at the Australian futures, because often it's going to be a little bit of a different look. So you can see it is a little bit of a different look. And on the futures, you can see that support was hit at the low, 68.53. And the open on the December 11th candle was 0.6853. So we see that support. We bounced higher on the futures, but also that resistance is here as well. Going forward, you can see it did pull back though. The higher time frames, the weekly, the monthly, were very choppy just based on the weekly chart. We're up, we're down, we're up, we're down, we're up. We're a little overextended. This could definitely come back more with this long upper wick. It came up to the moving average. Let's see if it can hold that support at 68.53 going forward, because right now it's setting up like it wants to come down and test this support. Let's see if it can turn around and break out. But realistically, I'd want to see this breaking above resistance before I would be bullish on the Australian USD. Okay, on to the Euro USD. Euro USD, it's hitting resistance as well, around 1.1170. So you can see that price right in there. Price came up, dropped, so you can really see price came up, pulled back, tried to break it again, hit that resistance, dropped, we go a bit sideways, we try to break out again, and we fail again with that resistance. If you look at the weekly chart, the way this is setting up, it's really telling me that this could come back more tomorrow. We have this gap between the moving average and where price is right now, and this to me looks like this could come back more. Key support price is going to be this 1.1100. That's going to be very, very important support price on the Euro USD. Maybe it hits that support, bounces, and then sets up and tries to break resistance again. But right now, this looks to me like this is going to come back. Let's take a look at the Euro futures. Okay, the Euro futures definitely looking bearish, definitely looking like it wants to pull back. It's always important to draw a line through a long rangy candle like this for support, and it is hitting that exact support price around 1.11795 on the futures. So let's see if this can bounce, but realistically you're putting in lower highs on the weekly, and this is definitely looking like this could come down, but let's see if it can hold that support price at 1.11800. Okay, on to the British Pound USD. This was getting really overextended, putting in lower highs. I was pretty confident this was going to pull back. Plus it was overextended, and it just went on this massive run, and it was really due for this pullback. Big drop yesterday. Here we are, we're coming down. We're testing key support price at the 12th, December 12th, at a low of 1.3050. We hit 1.3060, pulled up slightly on that price. Let's see if it can bounce off that price tomorrow and then continue the move. But if that price breaks, this could definitely go lower. Just the way the monthly is setting up. We're December 18th, obviously, and you can just see this long upper wick. The momentum is now more to the downside, so it really needs to hold this support price. And just like I set up here, it needs to hold that and have a nice breakout tomorrow and Friday to continue this uptrend. But for me, I see that this could have more downside more than anything at this point. Let's take a look at the futures as well. Futures look a little bit different, but we see this December 12th low of 30.90. So far it's holding that price. But we have this gap here. We are a little overextended. This could definitely pull up tomorrow. But all the other higher time frames, the weekly, the monthly, are showing me that this could definitely continue going lower. This has been such a big move on the pound, largely with the UK election, this latest big move. But once it gaps up like this, it really needs to pull back because it's not just going to keep going straight up. What goes straight up is always going to need to pull back. It's going to go sideways. It's going to break out again. Once you get these gaps, I don't like to trade gaps. I wait for it to pull back to the moving average and then continue the setup. But when something's just going straight up like this, it's always going to be a short-term move. I like to look for entries on instruments that are going up more of an angle like this. Straight up is going to come back down. It's going to come straight back down. So you can still trade these, but just remember to put tight stops and just remember that price is going to pull back soon. So you just got to be more prepared. Okay, New Zealand USD. Okay, New Zealand USD is definitely overextended just based on the weekly. I think this could definitely come back more. Whenever you have this gap between where the moving average is and price, it's going to want to come back a bit. It's not typically going to just continue going straight up without pulling back. So there was a bit of a recovery today. The key support price on this one is going to be 60.6545. You can see price came down within a few of that price. What was the low today? 65.54. So let's see if this can continue to break out. But realistically, like I just pointed out, I think this has more downside just based on the weekly. This has been quite a little run. So let's see how that goes. But of course, things can keep going. They can keep going up if they want to. And it's a good sign if you're bullish that it didn't test that key support level, 65.45. So let's see if it can break out and then continue the move and break this high made on the 13th of 66.35. Let's check out the futures chart, see if there's anything looking a little bit different. Not much different on here. Not much different on here. Long upper wick though. Still definitely overextended. It's holding this key low made yesterday, 65.74. Let's see if it can continue to hold that on the futures. Okay, on to USDCAD. All right, USDCAD, big drop today. Just based on this pattern, you see a big drop like this, big drops like this, you're going to have a rebound. Big drop, rebound. So let's look for a potential rebound. Weekly charts, monthly charts are definitely lining up bearish, definitely. But let's check out the low. Okay, 31.02. So we got to look at this key support at 1.3100 on the USD CAD. Price came down, hit within 2 of that price. 31.02 pulled up. So and just what I mentioned off the top, that this could definitely have a little bit of rebound just based on the pattern alone when you have a drop like this. And just the way it's looking to me, it could have a rebound. So I'm definitely more bearish on the USDCAD long term, but we could have a bit of a pull up. Now it's very important to look at the Canadian dollar as well. And if you follow the Canadian dollar as I do, it's always important to make note that there's always strong support at 75 cents on the Canadian dollar. Every time it gets close to 75, it pulls up on that price. Let's actually look at this more on the weekly, just so you can get an idea on this strong support. So there it is. There's 75 cents. Of course, it did dip below that in previous, but you can just see recently we're just finding this support on 75 cents. It's very strong. So here we are breaking out, and just by looking at this to me looks like this could pull back. I don't really like the movement on the Canadian futures. Just a long, rangy breakout going straight up. I could see this coming back a little bit tomorrow. Draw a line through the center of this big rangy candle, and you get 0.76175. Let's see if it can hold that support line, and then maybe it drops and then pulls back up end of day and continues the uptrend. Clearly the weekly with this long lower wick is showing the momentum is to the upside, and just the monthly we're more than halfway through the month, and the Canadian dollar looks like it wants to continue to be bullish going into January. Okay, let's take a look at the USD yen. USD yen is going higher. USD yen is really going with the US stock market right now. If the US stock market is going down or going up, it's usually correlating with that at the moment. You can see it's putting in some lower highs. Okay, there we just showed up there. As of right now, well, we got to see if it can break this resistance price of the high 109.71. Of course, we have a high over here at 109.73. We'll see if that can bust through tomorrow and the rest of the week. Clearly, the monthly is setting up more bullish going into next month. The weekly chart, but you can just see how this is going up, but it's very choppy going up. It's very choppy, not big moves. It's not taking out massive new highs from previous. It's just up a little bit, pulls back, up a little bit more, pulls back, but it's holding these trend lines in this channel. So that is interesting. Let's take a look at the yen futures. Of course, this is going to look to be the opposite. Of course, this is looking more bearish than anything. Of course, because it's going to look the opposite of the USD yen. Yeah, it looks like there's more downside on this. We are a little overextended. We're getting far from the moving average. I could see this pulling up. You know, the stock market does look a little bit overextended in the US. It looks like it could pull back. Volatility looks like it wants to pick up. So this could easily pull up. I mean, it looks more bearish, but it's right now, the last few days, it's really trying to figure out what it's going to do. Is it going to bust on down, or is it going to pull up? And just by looking at this, I'm kind of mixed. I'm seeing mixed things. The monthly is definitely leaning more bearish, just based on the monthly candle alone. We come up, we come down. The momentum is clearly to the downside based on this candlestick. And largely the weekly is lining up more bearish as well. It's just the daily is telling me that it could pull up before it continues the downtrend. Okay, that is the breakdown for Wednesday, December 18th on the major Forex pairs. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.